What would you say to international people who feel disenchanted with the current Iranian uprising because they were super big supporters of the Green Revolution, only to see it dissipate? Yeah, so like what you said, like we had previous uprisings and protests in Iran, and people were very hopeful about its results, and it led to nothing. And see people like, oh, this is just another version of that. People get excited. People get like, oh, maybe there's a chance. Maybe this is Iran's moment of awakening, and then it ends up, dies down, and nothing happens. What do you think?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Who would there be such people in the
Oh yeah,
international?
there are a lot of. Oh yeah, and Iranians too. There are many Iranians. There are people in the live chat
Yeah, I
here.
saw
People in the
that.
live chat. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I saw some of the videos where they were saying, "Oh, there are other people coming out in support of the Green Revolution as well."
Yeah.
But internationally, would there be people who would be who? Yeah, well, I don't know. I
I mean,
haven't. Yeah,
yeah. I
sorry,
mean,
go on.
Susanna has more eyes than everywhere than we do. So I would ask Susanna in the live
She's
chat.
a researcher. Yeah.
Susanna, if you could, are you in the live chat? Yeah. So I
Yeah.
don't know. Um, No, I haven't. You're right. Actually, you're right. I haven't. I'm gonna ask. We'll see if we could like address this in the, because she's my eyes and ears when it comes to what the conversation is. Like even on Iran related news, which I should be more aware. But I would. I've seen a lot of this because my eyes and ears is right now not with the international community, but with the Iranian community. Like I am constantly consuming what I'm hearing from Iranians, especially from Iranians within Iran, and I see that narrative there a lot. There is a division between people who are anti-regime. Some people are certain, beyond the shadow of the doubt. They're planning on the things that they're gonna do to the mullahs. Like they're like, I'm gonna cut his balls, all their
Oh
balls.
my
I'm gonna
God.
we're gonna put them. They're gonna hang them. They're gonna put them. People are like, no, we should not kill them. It's too good for them. We should put them in mandatory service to fix the regime. We should like enslave stuff like that. And people are like,
You
it's
know,
crazy. So
not the good.
so
You know what would be the best punishment for them?
what?
It'd be like organize female protest in front of them and force them to watch it, force them to look at it, like women taking their hair off and then force them watch it.
I see so many people from that are anti-regime. Like I listen to their conversations all the time, right? And so many of them, I would say most of them, are hoping Khamenei is not dead. They're saying like, okay, as much as good as it would be for the revolution, they kind of hope that he's not dead because they're
Why?
like, that's because they want him. They want to capture him alive. They want him. They want to capture. They want this man to suffer.
Now I'm actually thinking about it. Like, because I was really wondering. Like, I mean, it is a bit of a dilemma for the West. Like, what do we do? Should we give them weapons? If we do give them weapons, then these militias are going to form. What's going to happen? And then like it could just go sideways. A lot of bad things can happen. But on the other hand, you can't let the world see what's happening against these unarmed civilians, and like they're being beaten up. And then there would be more resentment in the public. And then if the public does manage to overthrow the regime, and then there's going to be violence again, all over again. Like it's just I'm this is why I'm
Yeah,
not
but
really,
every time,
I'm
yeah,
never in favor of revolutions. Like I'm anarchy. The being an idea being yeah the idea of anarchist never really resounded with me.
here's what I used to think that maybe like the stuff I can't decide, because if a revolution happens, the cost that the Iranian people would pay would be significant.
Yes.
Significant. It would be chaos, right? But at the same time, any pressure, including a chance for a revolution on the Islamic Republic of Iran, is the only weapon that people have. Nothing else has worked. Reform doesn't work. So as costly as a revolution might be, it might be the only alternative they have. The only thing they have, the only thing that is left. It's a bad option, but it's the only thing you have,
Yeah,
right?
I
And
agree.
and
Yeah.
here's another thing. At the end of the day, I can't say, oh, go people go into the streets, because if they go and die and they pay a heavy price for it, I'm in a safe place. I'm not going to pay anything for it, right? But the thing is that they will make the decisions themselves. My role is to just support them, whatever they decide, right? Because it's not up to us what the Iranian people do.
Yeah,
It's
but there's
up
going
to
to be
them.
violence. Yeah, but there's going to
Yeah.
be violence. There's going to be
Yeah,
bad violence.
But the violence is forced upon them. They did not choose it. The violence has been forced upon them. They're just defending themselves. I could just, what should I do? Go tell people to protest or not to protest? They're gonna do what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I know that. No, but you're taking a side.
What our role could be is to whatever they decide to do, which is a revolution. They want to do a revolution, right? They want to do a revolution. So I think we should respect that choice and see how we could help.
So they're gonna cut off the bulls. You're gonna be like,
I'm not gonna support that. No. I think if there is a revolution, there's going to be an internal division over having law and order and having courts and doing things properly, and people and other people who want to see all these people.
I reckon once you do come to power, once you have managed to overthrow the regime, then it's irrelevant. You can just send them to exile or whatever. Like, I mean, yeah, but I think people...
There are so many people that their main motivation for doing this is revenge, right? Again, I don't know what percentage, but I'm pretty sure if the revolution is ever successful, between the people, there will be a major fight over this, about what we do with the mullahs after. There are people who want to see mass executions, right? And there are people who say, like, no, this is not how we're going to start, because that's how the Islamic Republic started. The Islamic Republic, once it came to power, there were mass executions. Like, we need to be better.
The current president also killed a lot of people, and he has to answer for war crimes. Yeah, he was crimes, but just crimes against humanity.
Yeah,
right.
There are some people who say, like, we could have law and order, that we do things properly, but before we have a government come to power, you should just give a period of time to us to just do some cleansing. And by cleansing, they mean violence, right? And that scares me. But the thing is, even as scary as that is, it can't be as bad as this regime. You know what I mean? Long term, it can't be as bad as this regime. It cannot be. Yeah. I mean, long term.
I was just comparing them with Pakistan. Like, I mean, in Pakistan, it looks like it's going downhill. It does look. I mean, a lot of people disagree with me. I feel TLP is getting more and more powerful, but people still say no. There's no way they're ever going to come to power. But over there in Pakistan, you know that whatever kind of a proto-democracy that is, there's always hope. Like, you know how you were saying that the people, there's no other option. But in Pakistan, there would always be as long as this system or this setup stays in place, there would always be a way where it could incrementally get better with time. It might take a long time, but it could keep getting better.
Yeah.
Oh, you cannot expect cute and lovely revolution. Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm not. Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if you can say that. I mean, I agree with you. Maybe in Iran, maybe not in the Middle East, but we have had many peaceful revolutions. In fact, the peaceful, non-bloody revolutions have been the most successful ones. So, based on studies, if your revolution is violent, your chances of success is 20%. If your revolution is non-violent and peaceful, your chances of success is 50%. Okay. However, this study doesn't take into account that a lot of the revolutions that have become violent, they didn't choose violence. The violence was inflicted on them, and the protesters' violence was just self-defense. So you cannot take the study and like, oh, let's keep it peaceful. How could you keep it peaceful when the other side is not, right? So it's not. Yeah. So there's that.
But this is the reason why, like, we just think that if what's the army's name?
Artesh.
If Artesh just comes out and says, nope, we're not going to shoot our own people, screw you, then that's it. Then it's over. I reckon that's over then.
I don't know. I don't think that's over. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay,
this could be done. Yeah. What Susanna just said.
Okay, so Harris, the most important part of the equation if people are not taking into account, well, let me read what Susanna says. Susanna says, can we just get some Nuremberg trial 2.0, some tribunals?
Yeah, Tehran trials. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but the regime, okay, has there are different estimates. Okay, some people say 20 million, some people say 10 million, some people less. Okay, but I would say at least 10 million Iranians support this regime. Okay, out of a population of 82 million. Okay,
that's not it's a lot, but it's not. Yeah, okay, it's a lot.
Yeah, okay,
it's a lot.
Out of this 10 million, okay, potentially 20, but let's say 10. At least 100,000 of them are willing to die for it. At least 100,000, okay, to keep it in power, right? ISIS's membership at its peak was 40,000. Okay, so and these 100,000, they have experience with weapons, and they have been to war. ISIS's members, many of them didn't. These are battle-hardened people that have experience in Iraq, in Syria, in Yemen, and in Afghanistan, okay? And they have access to weapons more than ISIS ever had, right? 100,000 people, it could be a curse upon a nation that wants secular democracy, even if the regime falls. How are you going to keep them in check? I don't know, right? So so that's the part, like, the regime is gone. Okay, the loyalists are still there. The 10 million Iranians that want an Islamic Republic, I know they're the minority, but that's 10 million Iranians. They're not just going to pack up and leave. They're not just going to go home and be like, okay, this is like, I guess we're going to have to deal with this. You know what I mean? They're not going to.
Yeah, but in those situations, they employ other kind of tactics, but what they did in South Africa, like truth and reconciliation, where they go, okay, we're going to let you. Well, this is a new form of government. How about you become?
South Africa didn't have loyalists that were ready to die for the regime.
No, I get it, but but I'm saying what they say. Okay, you can form your political party. We can give you some seats as well. Like they can.
They don't want political power. They want an Islamic regime. They want the rule of Islam. They want Islam.
Yeah, that's 100%. Yeah, that's what they want. 100%. I'm sure there would be a way. I'm just talking out loud.
Yeah.
I'm speaking my mind, but in the same, they could probably give them something, a meet halfway kind of thing. But anyway, I'm not the expert, so
for them, halfway is zero. But we'll see.
We'll
see. I have to say to the people who are anti-regime like me, okay, you cannot wish these people away. Okay, so I want a secular democracy for Iran, but you have to. These people. They are Iranian citizens, and you cannot erase them. So you have to figure out a way to negotiate with them. You cannot be like, oh, you have to submit. Okay, you cannot force this upon them. You have to do you cannot just you cannot do seas of blood everywhere. You cannot execute, because a lot of people are saying like, we're going to execute every single Islamic Republic supporter. Okay, that would mean like you want to execute 10 million people. You cannot do that. You have to share this country with these religious Shia pro-regime people. So there has to be some give and take, like Harris said. To have your questions answered on the next live stream, become my patron today. You can do so with as little as $1 a month. Link in the description below.